Hello and welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Amy the Medium, and today I'm just going to go over how I prepare for a reading. For me, it is more about prepping myself to connect to my client than it is about the cards. However, I'll give you some of the tips I have about what I do with my cards as well. So the first thing I do before any reading is I prep myself energetically. I want to make sure that my energy is in a space where I am best suited to connect to my clients. So I do that through a very short meditation. I usually only sit about 5 minutes before each reading. That can sometimes extend up to 15 or 20 minutes depending on where my energy is at. But what I do in that meditation is I really focus on releasing the energies of the day. Maybe I have had a bad day and I've got a lot of emotions going through my body. I do this visualization so that I can make sure that I am as clear as possible for the person that I am reading for. I will also open my energy up to the spirit realm because I need to be able to connect not only to yourself and your higher self, but also your spirit guides as well, because they often have some input in a reading as well. So I'll take some time to open myself up this way. Additionally, in that meditation, what I will do is I will feel out the energy of my client. I will locate their energetic signature and I will make sure that I am blending with them prior to doing any contact with them at all. And like I mentioned, I do this 5 to 15 minutes before a reading. Then what I will typically do is I'll take my glasses off. And the reason for that is I just get irritated when I wear my glasses during a reading. So I like to take them off so that I don't have that distraction. So with glasses off, with myself opened up, connected to my client, the next thing I do is I'll pull out my cards. And what I do at this point is I really put myself energetically in the place of the person I'm reading for. So I really try to feel their energy strongly while I go through the cards. And what I'll do at that point is I will choose a couple of decks. Sometimes I just choose one deck. Sometimes I'll choose up to 4, maybe even 5. It really depends on the energy of that person. But what I'm doing is I'm feeling from them what they would choose, which decks would they be attracted to the most, and also what their need is. So once I've chosen the couple of decks that I feel would be best for the client, I'll open up each one and I'll shuffle the decks. I'll shuffle them a number of times just to infuse them with my energy, but also the energy of the client coming in so that I can make sure that those cards are shuffled where they need to be at the outset of the reading. At this point, if it's an in-person reading, my client will hopefully have shown up. They'll be in the room with me. If it's online, we'll be on Zoom together, but I'll have my camera on so that they can see the cards. If it's a video conference, if it's a telephone conference and we're on the phone with each other, I'll just describe to my client what I'm seeing and doing so that they can be part of this process. But the next thing I do is I put the decks out across the table and I let the client choose which one they are most attracted to at that point. So it's a further narrowing down process. So from the initial culling that I've done, I'm now allowing the client to choose the one deck that they're really drawn to from that subset. So at that point, I let my clients touch the cards. I let them look through the artwork. I let them really familiarize themselves with the cards because this is their reading. They need to have the experience that they want to have. So I will let them go through the cards. If it's in person, like I said, I'll let them pick them up. If it's over video, I'll put the camera on the deck so that they can see each one of them. If it's over the phone, I'll typically describe them. You know, I'll say you've got a red background, black background, blue background maybe, or I'll just say left, right, center, whichever it is. Either way, no matter how we're connecting, I let the client choose the deck that they want to work from. Now, I secretly have 2 reasons for this. One I've already explained to you, which is it's their reading. I want them to work from the deck that they are most drawn to. But the second reason is I want to make sure that I am connected with them correctly. I've already opened my energy up to them. I've already been familiarized with what their need is. I've had their energy with me while I've chosen the decks themselves. At this point, it's a final confirmation that I really am tuned in with that client. So while they're going through the choice of which deck they're going to work from, I already know which deck they're going to work from. I've already chosen maybe 3 or 4 decks. They're all laying out there, but I'll go, you know what? They're going to choose the one on the end. I know this because I can feel their energy and I can feel their need. And then when that's the deck they choose, I know that I'm plugged in. So that's my little secret trick is I have them choose the deck so that I know that I have the right link with them in that moment. Does it always work? 99% of the time. But the 1% that it doesn't work, I don't blame them, I blame myself. There's something wrong with my connection in that I didn't choose the right deck. What I'll do at that point, if I didn't choose the same deck that the client chooses, I'll clear all the other decks out. I'll take the deck that they've chosen, break it up into 3 piles, and then ask them to choose one of the 3 piles. Again, allowing me to reconfigure how I'm connected to them, because clearly my energy was off if I didn't choose the right deck. So now I've got a chance to get it right a second time. And if I do get it right the second time, then I know I'm plugged in. If I don't, there's typically a reason. Usually I'm reversed. So I may feel like they're gonna go right, they go left. On the second adjustment, I may feel they're gonna go left, they go right. At that point, I know, you know what, our energies are just reversed. Let me flip mine and we're good to go. It's all so that my connection with the client is strongest. Now, once they have chosen their deck, I do let them shuffle if they are in person. If it's over the phone or over Zoom, I'll shuffle it once at that point with their energy in mind. And then we start with the reading. I don't have any agenda over the spread that I use. It really has to do with the energetic need of the client in the moment. Of course, the old fallback is the Celtic cross. So if I just want to do a general what's going on with this person's life, I'll typically do a Celtic cross just to get a big picture. But there are times as well where I go to lay out the cards and they want to go where they want to go. I don't lay it out in any particular spread. The cards just end up wherever they are on the table. I should mention there are times as well where I don't even lay the cards out. We go through this whole process of connecting and making sure the deck is right. I'll grab the deck from them after they've shuffled it, and that's all I need to know exactly what they need in the reading. So I'll spend an entire reading just holding a deck. But most of the time I'll lay the cards out because people like to see the artwork. They like to see that you're working with a tool. So I will lay the cards out however they may fall. And as the conversation goes on, as the reading goes on, if more cards need to be pulled, we'll pull more cards. But ultimately, that is how I prep for a reading. That is how the reading tends to begin, how I get through it. And then at the end of every reading, I always ask if there are questions at the end. Is there anything that I haven't talked about that you wanted to talk about today? Normally I cover everything, but I like to give that opening to clients just in case. And then I don't do anything really special to close down a reading either besides thanking the person for coming. Everybody gets a recording of their reading after the fact. And when it's done, what I'll do is I'll take whichever deck we worked from, I'll shuffle it several times. In this case, what I'm doing is I'm shuffling their energy out of the deck. At this point, I've unplugged from that client because the reading is done. I'm back with me and my own energy. I'm gonna shuffle the deck to neutralize it, and then it's off to the next client, and I repeat the process. So that is this week's Tarot Tuesday. I hope it's been helpful in you understanding how I prep for a reading. Hopefully you can use some of these tips in prepping for your own readings, and I would love to know what you do to prep for your readings in the comments. So take care, have a great week, and we will see you next time.